So what is balance? We've talked about it in your appointment, or if you're just finding this video, this is going to talk about the three components of balance. It is a function of three different systems in your body. So we have somatosensory, visual, and vestibular. You probably recognize most of those. So somatosensory is broken down. Somato means body. Sensory means like your physical awareness or your perception of yourself. Somatosensory can be broken down into two more components: proprioception and exteroreception. Extero means outside, so it's your perception or your awareness of outside stimulus coming into you or interacting around you. Proprioception is internal awareness of what your body's doing, and that's where balance comes into play. So we'll look at proprioception. You might have heard that term before, which is a component of somatosensory. Fancy words aside, let's talk about visual. We all know what that is. So visual component of balance is essentially saying your eyes dictate what your brain is perceiving, and it's going to adjust your balance system towards it. So as humans, we tend to follow where our eyes go. Hardly ever do you think I'm looking to the right, but I'm moving forward. Our body's just the way society uses our body. We just don't really not use our visual system, which is why when we close our eyes in balancing, we tend to fall. Or if we're walking in the dark, we tend to sway a little bit more. So we learn how to challenge our balance by closing our eyes in different positions. Vestibular, it's growing in awareness thanks to vertigo and how vertigo is increasing. So vestibular is your semicircular canal, so the gyro in your ears that works at all three axes. Remember good old algebra, X, Y, Z axis? So there's canals that respond to each axis in either ear, and they have crystals in there that move in that fluid. They stimulate hair cells. Those hair cells talk to your vestibular cochlear nerve, and it talks to your brain, and your brain perceives that stimulus and says, does it match everything else that I'm working with? So we can record another video about vertigo, but essentially vertigo is saying those crystals are moving and your brain is saying, wait, no, I'm not moving. So I turn my head to the right, those crystals move, that's telling my brain we're turning to the left, but my eyes and everything about the rest of my body is saying, no, I'm going right. And that's where the disconnect comes, that's where the dizziness comes. So the vestibular system is challenged by head turns. So when you move your head back and forth or up and down or circles, that's challenging your vestibular system and our balance. Somatosensory, a lot of it's in your feet. You have millions of sensory nerves in your feet, which is why we personally like barefoot and barefoot shoes, because it creates more of a dynamic connection with our brain, and it really improves our balance and our strength and many other things. Don't do barefoot shoes yet. We need to talk about that if you have foot pain. But all these sensory nerves in your feet talk to your brain, and they say, this is what I'm touching, this is what I'm on an unstable surface, one foot's in front of the other, I'm moving side to side. All those connections go to your brain from visual, vestibular, and somatosensory, so the proprioception of your feet. And it tells your brain, are you in balance? And if you're not in balance, that's where the swaying comes. So we've all, like I said, you walked in dark and you ran into things, or you closed your eyes and you immediately swayed, or you turned and as you're looking forward, as you're walking forward, you look to the right, but you start moving to the left. Why is that? Because your brain's trying to take in more stimulus that it's not used to. It's maladapted to that stimulus, so it loses its balance. So training balance 101, we have things like Dynadiscs and blue foams or AX foams or pillows or Bosu balls. That's standing on a more unstable surface, so we're challenging the proprioception of our feet. Just standing there engages that. But also, you don't even need those fancy tools. You can stand with 2 legs, 2 feet right next to each other. Closer it is, the harder it is, the wider apart, the easier it is. Or you can split your stance, or you can go tandem, so tightrope walking, or you can go single leg. That's challenging that somatosensory system to take less weight, more weight onto each foot and or more unstable surface. So it's challenging somatosensory. So if we challenge vestibular, we already talked about it. Turn your head left and right, up and down, or circles. And we said close your eyes to challenge your visual. If you want to challenge everything, or 2 of them, have your eyes closed. I'm standing with my feet together, eyes are closed, and I turn my head left and right, or I go up and down. The faster I turn my head, the harder it is. The more those crystals are moving, the more my brain has to respond to that stimulus, the more dizzy or unbalanced I will become. If you want to challenge the foot and the eyes, okay, now you can't see me, but I'm standing on a single leg. My eyes are closed now, and I start to sway a little bit more. Okay, so that doesn't mean I should move my head back and forth, but why not try it? eyes closed, on a single leg, turning my head back and forth, and I start to lose my balance. Then we can add in more tools, like I said, the foams and the Dynadiscs and the pillows. Those are all tactics just to increase your balance. Now that you have the understanding of the principles, you can challenge yourself anywhere. I usually suggest brush your teeth, do dishes, cook, do anything that you're standing, do it on a single leg. Why not challenge that balance? You have something sturdy to hold on. And if you're doing something more stagnant, or you can do it with your eyes closed, do it with your eyes closed. Or if it's stagnant, you can turn your head back and forth as you're moving. Just challenge your balance. The more your body's stimulated, the better it adapts, the better it becomes, the less likelihood you will fall. If you have any questions, let us know.